Oliver Madenge, one of the journalists with a star, and also leaning towards the Deputy President William Ruto, made an interesting tweet on 12th of October 2020. Let me read for you what Oliver Madenge tweeted. He's saying, if Uhuru and Ruto meet this week and agree on BBI, the report will be launched very soon. But I am not sure the reconciliators have made any headways yet. So Oliver Madenge is making 2 points here. That there's some efforts to reconcile President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto. But he's still not yet sure about the progress. And he's also alleging that if these reconciliation efforts were to succeed, then the BBI report would be launched soon. Remember, Raila Odinga has been talking about the launch of Building Bridges initiative. But up to now, nothing has happened. And today, Oliver Madenge made also another interesting tweet. He's saying, I am guessing some reconciliation headways have been made now. Remember, Oliver Madenge is a journalist. And probably he has some information about these reconciliation efforts. And Dennis Onsarigo also made a very interesting tweet on his Twitter handle. Onsarigo posted Thursday, 15th October 2020. Many people could not really comprehend what Onsarigo meant by that simple tweet. And a friend of mine was telling me yesterday, because I asked him what Onsarigo meant. And the friend told me that Onsarigo was also referring to the same reconciliation efforts. And that tomorrow, 15th October, President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto are actually supposed to shake hands or to have another handshake. And that's a talk which has been within the political circles for a very long time. And because I always believe that in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence, that everything is normally designed to achieve specific political objectives, I am certain that probably there are efforts to reconcile President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto. But how will these reconciliation efforts affect Raila Amolo Odinga? Today, I want us to look at how the dilemma Raila Odinga is going to find himself in should these reconciliation efforts succeed. But before we do that, if you are watching that video for the first time, please take a second or two and click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. Now back to the main issue. And I want to thank my friend Adede for granting me the opportunity to use his office. That's where I am recording this video today. I'm actually in Nairobi. Now back to the main issue. Assuming President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto want to reconcile today, how will that affect Raila Amolo Odinga? For those who've been following the politics of the Republic of Kenya, you realize that over last week, during the national prayer meeting, President Uhuru Kenyatta actually snubbed his deputy. He just didn't recognize his deputy. And for the first time, Rachel Ruto was absent from a national prayer meeting. And her seat, which was reserved for her, was then handed over to former President Moody Awori. And when the president was leaving, he used a different exit from his deputy. In fact, he just assumed his deputy and left. He left his deputy there, standing there. That meant that there were serious differences between these two gentlemen. But why do you think there are efforts to reconcile the deputy president and his boss, President Uhuru Kenyatta? There are several reasons. The first reason is that President Uhuru Kenyatta is keen on passing the Building Bridges initiative report. He's very keen on doing that. And the president is keen on building a consensus on that building bridges initiative. And that's why there's always the story within the political circles that the president would not launch that building bridges initiative report until his deputy agrees to support it. But remember, the deputy president and his allies are also reading malice. They believe that President Uhuru Kenyatta and his handlers are actually trying to set a trap for the deputy, so that the deputy president is going to support that building bridges initiative, is going to pass. Then after that, either through parliament, because the moment the deputy president will agree to support it, then it's going to be a parliamentary initiative. So the president is going to achieve his objective. So for them, they want an assurance that the president is actually going to commit to support his deputy. So the president is keen on building a consensus. And that's why probably he's tasked some of these guys to engineer or to initiate the reconciliation effort. Number two, we also know that the political temperature in this country is currently very high. And there has been... Number two, we also agree that the political temperature in this country has been very high of late. In fact, anybody coming to this country would imagine that we are facing a general election in the next 1 or 2 weeks, or even next week. You can't compare the political temperature in this country to Tanzania, where they are going to have a general election this year. So some religious leaders, businessmen, and people who value Kenya have been thinking like, why don't we reconcile the president and his deputy so that to lower the political temperature? And let me just demonstrate to you. On Friday, William Ruto and his Tanga Tanga Brigade are expected in Murang'a County. They are really mobilizing for some fundraiser in Kiharu and I think Mathioya. On the same Friday, remember when the deputy president was last in Murang'a, 2 guys actually lost their lives. So these 2 gentlemen are going to be buried also on Friday. So the deputy president has organized a parallel meeting, and there is also this meeting where these guys are going to be buried. So basically it means that the temperature is already rising. Number 3, why these reconciliations are important is because of our international image. You know, Kenya is currently a laughing stock. The other day, Amina Mohammed contested for that seat, which she lost heavily. It means Kenya is doing very badly internationally. She has lost twice. And lastly, Uhuru Kenyatta is also keen on his legacy. He can only achieve those legacy if there's unity in this country, if there's unity in his government. And one of the legacy the president wants to achieve is unity. He can't allege to be trying to unite the country when he can't see eye to eye with his deputy. So that's why these guys are telling him, boss, look here, let's not cheat each other. You must reach out to your deputy. But how is this reconciliation efforts going to affect Raila Odinga? That's the biggest question. Because you all know Raila Odinga and President Uhuru Kenyatta had the handshake in March of 2018. And that handshake changed the politics of this country completely. The allies of the deputy president have always insisted that the only handshake they recognize was between President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy before the Hague process. But how is the current move to reconcile the president and his deputy going to affect Raila Odinga? In my view, I think there are 3 or 4 reasons. Number 1 is the value to President Uhuru Kenyatta. You see, currently, Raila Odinga is very powerful in this government. We've seen government ministers going to his office. We've seen President Uhuru Kenyatta consulting with the Right Honorable Raila Odinga on most issues. We've seen allies of the president. We've seen the visits to Bondo. It's only because of the value Raila Odinga is adding to his deputy. It's only because of the value Raila Odinga is adding to the president. He's only adding those values because the deputy president is outside there. Assuming the deputy president and Raila Odinga, assuming the deputy president and President Uhuru Kenyatta reconcile today. Why would the president need Raila Odinga? They will have numbers in parliament to do whatever they want. They'll have numbers at the Senate to do whatever they want. The president will easily go anywhere in this republic without thinking twice. Because already, if you look at it critically, other regions like coastal regions and the rest have already embraced the president, and they've also embracing William Ruto. So Raila Odinga, the value now, I think, in my view, is going to reduce. Number two is the influence, his influence in government. His influence in government. Raila Odinga is currently very influential. Cabinet ministers, senior government officials are trooping to his office. They are only doing that because of the differences between the president and his deputy. The moment these two guys will reconcile, these guys will not be trooping to Raila Odinga's office. In fact, Raila Odinga will not have any influence in government. And number four, which I think is the most critical for Raila Odinga, is the central Kenya votes. The handshake provided Raila Odinga with the opportunity for penetrating the larger Mount Kenya region. We witnessed last weekend a delegation from the larger Mount Kenya region going to Bondo to endorse Raila Odinga. We witnessed people like Peter Kenneth talking about Raila Odinga. There's a youth group or a youth movement, a very strong youth movement, which has been formed in the larger Mount Kenya region. That youth movement is actually advocating for Raila Odinga presidency. So Raila Odinga had the opportunity to penetrate the larger Mount Kenya region, politically speaking. With the reconciliation of these guys, I don't think it will be possible. Raila Odinga is only penetrating the larger Mount Kenya region because of the difference. Those who don't agree with the deputy president and his disagreement with the president are now supporting Raila Odinga because Raila Odinga now provides them with that alternative which they are missing. And because of those three reasons, Raila Odinga is finding himself in the dilemma. And of course, he can't also oppose that reconciliation meeting. But I don't know the authenticity of that story. I'm still waiting to hear more about that. And because I'm in Nairobi, it will be very easy for me to get some of this information and relay them back to you. And tomorrow I'll be in Kisumu and probably will revisit this. But I'm not sure whether these moves are actually true or whether they are part of propaganda. But what I know for sure is that in politics, nothing just happens out of mere coincidence. And if you're watching this video for the first time, please take a second or two and click the subscribe button so that next time you produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. I don't know how the video is. The lighting in this office is not very clear, but I think you guys will be able to watch the video. I mean, I don't think it's also that bad. Again, I'm not using a mic. I'm using the phone directly. So I don't know the quality of the sound. Probably it's okay or might not be. But please, guys, just appreciate that my friend has provided me with an office where I am able to record. And another guy, the Robert Alai of Tech Matter, has also invited me so that I can record another video from his office. So probably the next video I'll do from his office while still in Nairobi. That one, if I'll get time, because I'm also here for other businesses. I don't know what you think. Let me know your thoughts on this. How do you think these reconciliation efforts are going to affect Raila Odinga? Let me know your thoughts. Thank you guys, and please, may you have a good day.